Still here in Nigeria, chieftains of the People's Democratic Party have warned that the silence of the party's acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, over claims by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, that he notified him in writing when he was nominated by President Bola Tinubu for a ministerial role is worrisome. Now, while the PDP and his 2023 presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, are challenging the outcome of the February 25th presidential elections, Nyesom Wike accepted a cabinet position and of course, just last week, dared any member of the party to suspend him.
This development, however, prompted the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to remind Wike that he will be sanctioned at the appropriate time. The chieftains insisted that Wike's continued membership of the PDP posed a huge threat to whatever the former Vice President might have in mind politically for the future on the platform of the PDP. Why is Damagum silent? If Wike wrote to him, did he present the letter before the NWC members? Were the NWC members also aware? These are some of the questions we're hoping to have answered this morning as we're joined by political strategist and public affairs analyst Demola Olarewaju. He's also a member of the PDP. Thank you so much, Demola, for joining us. Please, can you unmute your device? Thank you.
Now I'm muted. Good morning. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for looking very Nigerian in your green. Let's get into the conversation this morning. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has said that there might be sanctions, for Nyesom Wike. What would be a likely and appropriate sanction? Would that mean him being expelled completely from the PDP?
Well, I think the process of his exit from the PDP, which he himself has kickstarted by accepting an appointment under the APC government, which is being challenged in the courts. The process will be authorized by the National Executive Council, which is the highest decision-making body in the PDP. So he's going to be tried. He's going to face a panel if he chooses to appear, and then the panel will make recommendations, and the NEC will probably expel him from the party. I think that is what most members will like to see or believe will happen. The NEC is likely to expel him from the party. He would be queried, of course, and then, his claims, the various claims he has made in the media space, alleging that, he informed various party authorities and so on and so forth. I think all those issues will be trashed out at the National Executive Council at the appropriate time.
Well, I think he maybe expected this because he's actually daring the PDP. I'm sure you remember the statements that he's made. He's daring the PDP to make any moves, to suspend or expel him. And so, it sounds like a person who's speaking with some level of confidence. Does this in any way bother the PDP? And of course, the criticism that the PDP has come under in the last few weeks, since the statements by Nyesom Wike and, of course, his appointment as minister. Is there any, would you agree with anybody who has doubts that the PDP will actually go ahead and suspend or expel him?
Well, I think the confidence is very clearly coming from the fact that he's one leg in APC already and still trying to put one leg in PDP. I think actual PDP members understand the game that is going on. He sabotaged the PDP as a party in order to gain the present leverage that he has with the APC. And that is where the confidence is coming from. He is a sitting minister under the APC regime. So essentially, he is his soul and his spirit, are with APC, while his body, in fact, is with APC. We can say only maybe some remnants of his body are still with PDP. That's why he cannot stop talking about the PDP and would always like to comment. He will be sanctioned. I think that is very clear. That he can dare the party. He can say anything he wants to say within the media space. I think that's that's his own brand of politics. A lot of people do not like to join issues with him because he can be quite abrasive when he makes his statements. So I think that's the situation now. But definitely, the PDP is bigger than one man. He is no longer a governor. He is a minister under the APC. So I think at the appropriate time, the party will do the needful. What party members expect at this point would be that the NWC, which is led by Ambassador Umar Damagum as the acting chairman, will convene NEC, and at the next meeting, I am sure that his matter is definitely going to be tabled, and the various allegations he has made in the media space, he will have to repeat those allegations in front of whichever panel is constituted to hear his matter, or in front of the entire NEC. So I think no one is in doubt that if PDP is going to remain as a political party within this political space, then there has to be reactions from the highest quarters of the party, regardless of whatever issues he tried to throw around. His statements will be evaluated on the basis of the Constitution, and appropriate sanctions will rightly be dealt.
Speaking about reactions, I'd like to take the reaction of the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, in response to the potential sanctioning of Wike. He, in an interview on a TV station, he said that some people say fight Wike, expel Wike, sack Wike. I think they do that at their own peril. He then goes forward to say he's a man of capacity. He then urged the party to call for true submission, where everyone will come and bear their mind, tell them what went wrong and how we can move forward as the party. What are your thoughts on Ayodele Fayose's position? He doesn't think that the party should expel Wike, but that the party should...
I think...
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think former Governor Fayose is quite clearly mistaken. I mean, what rules are you calling with somebody who has very clearly chosen to serve under the APC? Wike has chosen his own political future, and that is up to him. Okay, it's not. I mean, what rules? What discussion is Governor Fayose talking about? That what went wrong. What rules are they talking about at this point? You have gone into the media space to make statements. It's not just the statements you made to embarrass the political party that produced you, the same party that made you a local government chairman of Obiako, the same party that made you a minister of state, made you a minister, which is the present position that he has under the APC, the same party that made you a two-time governor of Rivers State. If you go and denigrate such party publicly, that's one thing. The second aspect is that you have chosen to serve as a minister under the APC government, which is being challenged by PDP. So what truths, what discussions are they expecting to have? I mean, if you have, everyone is free to make his choice, okay? He has made his choice, but he is not free to choose the consequences of his choice. There has to be consequences, and I believe that the party will speak. As for Governor Fayose himself, you would remember that at a certain point, when the NWC was led by the former chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, he was suspended within the party, he and several of the people that he fielded, because there were allegations against them also. If Governor Fayose wants to join his fate to the Minister Nyesom Wike, if he wants to join his fate to him, then I believe that the NEC will deal with both of them appropriately, and with every other person who, continues to sabotage the party. Because it is one thing for you to sabotage your party or to refuse to work for your party, during the election period. But then after the election, for you to go ahead and accept a cabinet position from the ruling party, then it means you are simply no longer within the party. So Governor Wike has chosen where he wants to be, or Minister Wike, or or co-president, as he's trying to portray himself these days, because he keeps on saying that the emergence of Bola Tinubu was part of it. He was the one who did it. He makes himself look like, oh, I was the one who gifted Bola Tinubu the president. If you saw how he was talking, and even the confidence with which he was talking about the outcome from the presidential election petitions court, the way he was talking, he's trying to be a co-president. So he has chosen his pathway. There is no point looking back anymore.
Okay,
his spirit is with APC.
Can we see it from another perspective?
So what's the point?
Demola, can we see from another perspective, the perspective of the fact that the common goal is for the progress of the country, Nigeria, and regardless of what political party you're serving or you're from, you're serving Nigeria and not the political party. That's one. But secondly, he claims that he wrote to Damagum. Can you confirm if he did write to him, and if this letter was presented before the NWC, I mean, that can be an argument that he did seek permission he notified them.
And also the state PDP chairman, he also mentioned that he wrote to the state PDP.
Okay, so these are three issues. The first is in the issue of national interest, whether it is right for one to serve. Well, I think at certain points, those conversations can be had, but that will be after the litigation process. There are 3 phases to an election. There's the pre-election phase, there's the election phase, and then there's the post-election phase. We are still in the post-election phase, which is the phase of litigation, okay? And at that point, nobody is expected to break party ranks. What Nyesom Wike has done is unheard of in advanced democracies, where you cross party lines and decide to work for the other party, whether national interest or not. Such conversations have to be at a party level. The APC and the PDP discuss, and then the PDP can say, okay, we are sending representatives. That's happened before in 1999. So he's saying that he wrote a personal letter, and which leads us to the issue of the letter. He's saying that he wrote a letter to Damagum. Well, I cannot confirm whether that letter is actually real. That will be up to Ambassador Umar Damagum himself, the acting chairman of PDP, to confirm. If indeed such a letter was written, I very strongly doubt that the NWC, if he wrote to him, not in a personal capacity, if he wrote to him as the acting chairman of the PDP, I doubt that such a letter was presented to the NWC for deliberation. And I think, this matter also challenges the PDP and NWC directly to address this issue publicly. An allegation has been made publicly. There has to be a response by the NWC. That response is either one, by issuing a media statement, or secondly, by calling an NEC meeting, which is the only organ that can actually mete out sanctions to him. So, as regards, he's writing the letter to his River State chairman. Well, I mean, the River State structure of the PDP is firmly under his control. He is the immediate past governor of the PDP in River State. So I do not doubt that. But as regards that of Ambassador Umar Damagum, that he wrote a letter, well, it depends on what he wrote in the letter. Nobody has seen the letter. And look, I think we understand the character of Wike in politics by now. I mean, for the last 1 year, for the last over 1 year, he has held the political space, especially the media space, with journalists that he interacts with, who, do not ask him penetrating questions. He has held the whole space spellbound, with his antics. He makes these claims. But we have to ask, what was the content of the letter? Were you asking for permission? If you were asking for permission to go and serve, was that permission granted? Was it granted in writing? Where is the letter writing? Saying that you merely wrote to inform somebody that, look, I am going to serve as minister under Bola Tinubu's government. It's vague. It's vague, okay? He should produce the copy of the letter. If he's alleging that he has that letter, he should produce the copy of the letter, and then, we can then ask Ambassador Umar Damagum, what the letter was and what his response to that letter was, hopefully, either verbally or by writing also.
Yeah, hopefully the PDP sets up its, NEC meeting as quickly as possible, because I remember that it was shifted. I also want, because one of the things that he said, was that PDP governors, had also been approaching President Tinubu, seeking, certain favors. And of course, he said that, if they deny it, he will expose them and he will bring forth, evidence. So it's a lot of drama. And it might be one of the reasons that, some people have said that the PDP has been having cold feet with addressing the Nyesom Wike, elephant in the room, because they feel like, or they fear that the fallout and the backlash that would come from it, the chaos that would, emerge from it, might be too much for the PDP as a party. So can you speak to that? Do you think that the PDP as it stands is strong enough to withstand and deal with the fallout from the expulsion of Nyesom Wike if he decides to fight back, in his own capacity?
I think again, Governor Nyesom Wike has proven himself, former Governor Nyesom Wike has proven himself to be a sort of political conjurer. He goes around, he throws a lot of allegations in the air, and then, people are scrambling to respond. Everyone is scrambling to react. The media sensationalizes it. If you claim that governors wrote, he said governors wrote to Bola Tinubu to appoint 10 people from each state as ministers, PDP governors, he should mention one minister who is an appointee or who is a recommendation of any PDP minister. Because anyone can make allegations, and people may care or may not care to join issues with you in the public space for reasons best known to them. Governors may decide not to react publicly. But it should mention, we know the states where PDP governors are from. And the closest example, perhaps, might be from one of his G5 co-travelers at the G5 level in that time, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. The ministerial nominee from Oyo State is Adelabu. the Minister for Finance, I believe. No, not Finance, but that's Wale Edun. Atiku Abubakar, he has a ministry. He's from Oyo State. Is he a nominee of Governor Seyi Makinde? He is a former APC member, Adelabu himself. So he was chosen from the faction that Tinubu wanted within the APC. He's clearly not a nominee. So which state is the nominee from? Which states are the ministerial nominees from? He's claiming that governors are making. Which one have we seen so far?
No, I mean, his statement was that they did approach, President Tinubu. He didn't say that, President Tinubu approved their request or answered them. He just says that they approached, and asked for certain, favors and certain, nominations, maybe not even ministerial nominations. But we're out of time. Can you give us any idea when the NEC meeting would be holding?
Well, no one is sure about that. I think at the appropriate time, I think it will happen. The NWC under Ambassador Umar Damagum will definitely, make a pronouncement concerning that. And when that pronouncement is made, we would all know, and we would all look forward eagerly to see how the PDP reacts to it, which also answers what you asked in the last question, that will PDP be able to withstand it? I think after that NEC meeting, then that question will be answered, that whether PDP will be able to, expel the dissidents within its ranks, expel the saboteurs within its ranks, and close ranks, and give Nigerians the kind of opposition against the APC government that Nigerians want.
All right, Demola, Olarewaju, thank you very much for your time and for this conversation. We look forward to the NWC and, of course, the NEC meeting, the one we would like to see how things play out for the PDP. We'll speak with you again.
Thank you very much. It's always my pleasure. Thank you.